Hi, Justin Brown with Interface Death, bringing you another vlog, letting you know what's going on and what's on my mind as of late. In this vlog, I'm going to talk about what's been going on with the research and the field research, and we're going to talk about ITC devices. But before that, I want to let you guys know that we revisited the Elisha Morgan Mansion to give it another go, see if we can find the same things that we did the first time, and pretty much to see if the phenomena can be replicated. And we went back, did a few different things, did some of the stuff the same, tried to go to the places that we got stuff before and within the home, and guess what? Nothing. That actually happens a lot. The reason why it's very difficult to research and investigate the paranormal scientifically is that it doesn't show any signs that it can be replicated. That's very problematic, but that shouldn't sway investigators and researchers from doing it. Now, you should always go to places twice, 3 times, 4 times if possible, or more, to see when it occurs, how often, and all the mitigating factors that may be involved in the phenomena. That is very important. It's not a very good way, just or idea, to go one place, one time, and to pretty much establish something from just one visit. Even though you could do it for a few days, a 2 or 3 day investigation, that's still quite not enough to really get enough data and get your head around the phenomena. Because let's face it, paranormal phenomena does not happen every day all the time, or it wouldn't be classified as paranormal. It'd just be normal, right? So Elisha Morgan Mansion was, nothing happened. Okay, just nothing happened. But we had the eclipse with the black moon and supermoon happening on March 20th. Did a few things, and again, nothing substantial happened. Nothing worth reporting to you guys happened. And that, like I said, that sort of thing happens when you do this type of research. Over the last 2 years, I have tried to understand that even though you try to put yourself in places where paranormal phenomena happen more often than places that have few reports or not known to be haunted, you want to try to put yourself in a place where it happens more, but it just happens when it wants. There's so many, seems like there's so many mitigating factors involved. What that is, I cannot be sure at this point. It's probably going to take a lifelong journey to even map it out. It could be weather, it could be something involved with the individuals researching itself, it could be all kinds of sort of things in the environment that's measurable or may not be measurable. But that doesn't stop me from doing what we do, and hopefully my little contribution to the field will help others understand it on down the road, if I don't ultimately get to the bottom of things. But with that being said, in this vlog, I want to try not to rant. I want to make it short as possible, but I'd like to talk about the journey with the ITC devices. Now, if you guys don't know, I use spirit boxes in my ITC research, and I started off using a Shack Hack, which is pretty much a Radio Shack. The model number I use is 12-587, and it's easily hackable. You can go take it apart, bend down a pin, and disable the mute and the when it scans, because it has a function that mutes the radio when it scans. So you disable that, and that'll let you continuously scan. So you can essentially turn it into a Frank's box. But as I got into the research, I put a little bit of money in, got the PSB7, and then presently I'm now using the PSB11. And as of now, I lose a lot of followers and fans by saying this, but it's just not effective. There's so many things that can give you false positives. It's so open and susceptible for people listening to it to be affected by pareidolia. So the radio frequencies coming in and contaminating it is very, very difficult to control. Now, I have got really good evidence, but it's far and few between. When you go underground in rural areas where there's barely any radio towers transmitting, tunnels, underground chambers, so on, that's good places to do it. So if you got those places to go to, that's where I suggest doing the research with the Spirit Box type ITC device. But I want to let you guys know that I'm just not going to spin in neutral, and everywhere I go, if I turn on the device and something comes out of it and responds to me, even if it sounds intelligent and it's hard to comprehend how it's possible that a coincidental intelligent response comes across it. It is possible. The mind works in ways that allows you to find rhymes and reasons out of chaos. Okay, you have to be very skeptical, very objective when you do it. All right, you have to replicate. If you hold up a finger and say, "How many fingers am I holding up?" If it answers you, great, but you want to be able to replicate that. Keep holding up fingers and see if it can still do it. Now, if it doesn't, then that either says, well, it was a coincidence, or for some reason it was only able to answer you the one time. So that speaks for itself. There's really no way to be sure, but you can be more sure if you try to replicate the answers and responses you get. If you ask for a name and get a name, it could be coincidence. Even if you are scanning at the highest rate possible, decoupling the antenna and everything. Now, if you're underground and you baseline it and it's complete white noise, stand down there for an hour and not get nothing, and then you start trying to ask the spirits to interact with the device, and then you get stuff, that is something you can look at, and you can say to yourself that it's something that's maybe legit. All right, but you just don't want to automatically assume that it is a spirit or a disembodied intelligence. You want to be able to understand how whatever is coming across is how's it happening? What's the mechanics? Is it how's it manipulating the device to do it? Now that kind of leads me into my next thing. A lot of people use different devices, and the popular ones are like applications that you use for Android or iPhones, and popular ones are like EchoVox, the SCD1, and BlackVox, I think, is another, and there's a lot of variations. And the reason I don't use those is you cannot get it to baseline when nothing comes out. An app works kind of like a Spirit Box when it comes to using random raw bits of audio to make something come across. Now, that's bad, in my opinion. Okay, you may not like that, but EchoVox does not give you any type of basis, when you're trying to establish something using the scientific method. You cannot control what comes across it. If you got random variables, there's no science. You cannot rule out that pareidolia is happening. Okay, what you want is a device that you can baseline. Nothing comes when you ask for something, it comes. Okay, that's what you want. And that's the reason why Spirit Boxes and apps are so ineffective, is because you cannot control what comes across. I'm sorry, but even in my own research, I have presented stuff that may be, I thought that may be responses, and it doesn't hold water after a while. After I think about it, it's just like, well, it just don't hold water. Now, some do. There's very few rare occasions where I do think that it's something, but those are the things, when I go on radio shows and try to present, my best evidence, those are the things I present. But I really don't try to present things, as my best work that's questionable. But I want you guys to understand, if you want to subscribe to my thinking and my ideology behind ITC research is you need to establish a baseline that produces an intelligent response that is not susceptible to contamination or pareidolia. Okay? If you're using a spirit box, get all the radio to stop. You just want real-time white noise, and then get something. Echovox, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it set up to where nothing comes across it, and then when you ask a question, you get something. It just does not work that way. Okay. Now, another thing I would like to address is all this competition going on between all the developers, between the apps and the spirit boxes. I mean, you got people out there that once used the apps, but when they a certain app, and when they get their own app developed or their own idea, they want to, talk crap about the other guy's products and apps. This is not a competition. If you make it in a competition, it just makes you look stupid. You shouldn't have to explain yourself, why yours is better than the other. Okay? If you have no idea how your device works, or pretend to know how your device works and not explain it in a way that it makes any sense, is asinine. I mean, how can you develop an app, you have no idea it works, and tell people that it works? Really? I mean, you're really going to do that? I don't think so. You're not going to get that by me, and I hope you're not going to get it by other people that are critical thinkers and that are intelligent. Okay? I believe there's a lot of people out there that kind of take advantage of people, that are ignorant. Sorry to say that, but they're just ignorant, okay? They want to believe something, and they'll grasp at anything that gives them, something to grasp at, to believe in. You don't want to blindly believe in something. You want to be able to deduce some type of truth in your research. You want to exhaust all other channels of explanation and reach a supernatural explanation. And you want to take some time doing that. You want to, subscribe to other people's thinking and ideas. You want to be open to them. You want to, have your work subjected to criticism, scrutiny. You want to get feedback from people, and you'll be able to identify the stuff from haters, okay, and people that are just out to, make you look bad and make themselves look good. But, there's plenty of people out there that are doing stuff that is worth checking out, okay? I'm not going to sit here and endorse a whole bunch of people. Just watch my videos and read my stuff, and you will see the ideas I use from other people. But I just wanted to touch on that because this whole, fight over whose apps are better and whose devices are better, that's a waste of time. Find out for yourself. Use it. If you think it works, that's great. But I want you guys to understand where I'm coming from when it comes to ITC. All right? Pareidolia is real. Your mind can play tricks on you. Your mind is designed to make sense out of random chaos. If something sounds like you can kind of plug it in, that's bad. Okay? I'm not going to sit here and rant and rave over the same thing, but I just want to let you guys know how I felt on that, and please stop the bickering because it makes you look stupid. I'm not going to be shy about telling you guys that. Find something that will let you stand out and be recognized in a field that's credible. It's pseudoscience if you're not using science. Okay? You got to be able to have the balls and the honor to go back to the drawing table, say you're wrong, and just keep going at it and keep going at it. And eventually you'll get somewhere, in the field of the paranormal. So, with that being said, I'm going to leave you guys with that notion, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you.